Hey, welcome back to my Mass Effect 2 Insanity Adept guide. Congratulations if you watch every video so far. You probably have more patience than I do, because I don't know how you stand to listen to my voice. I can't stand to stand on my own. I'm just going to talk a bit about the Arrival DLC for a bit, some of my thoughts on it. If you want to skip to the actual good part, it's about 5.5 minutes in, so you don't have to hear me ramble about the DLC for a while. So basically I got to ramble for 5.5 minutes is really what I'm doing. So, some people really like the Arrival DLC, some people don't. I'm not sure how I feel about it. It's supposed to bridge the gap between Mass Effect 2 and Mass Effect 3, and in some ways it does that, in a lot of ways it kind of doesn't. My issue with the DLC, it's kind of the most it tends to be really buggy in parts sometimes, where some powers all of a sudden don't work. I think Dominate's an example where Dominate just doesn't work like it does in the other DLC. And there's some other weird glitches and issues. But overall, I mean, it works out okay. My big problem with this is pretty much the same issue as I have with Kasumi, where all of a sudden, unlike Kasumi, where it's like, okay, you're forced with one squad mate, like you are in the loyalty missions, but unlike Kasumi, where it's okay, it's only her, and even though she may not be that great, here it's basically you're by yourself the entire time. It's not that bad, but it hits some classes harder than others, I find. Adept sort of gets hit the hardest because Adept works best when you have at least sort of one like biotic squad mate with you, like Miranda or Thane. At least that's just me. So all of a sudden it's just you. Makes it a little tougher at times. Overall though, it's not too bad, I guess, but I don't know. And then you get like some classes with like the Infiltrator where you have Cloak and it's basically turn invisible and then no one fights you. It's like they just stand still because they can't focus fire on anybody else. You might have seen that if you're an Infiltrator in the single player campaign. If both your squad mates are down, then you go invisible. It's like everyone just stops. That's basically like the Infiltrator the entire time here. So Infiltrator is like the easiest time. Infiltrator can really bug it out in some places. Another issue. Well, it's not an issue I have, but one thing to keep in mind for you here. You can do Arrival before, or I should say, Arrival unlocks after you complete Horizon. So you can do it at any time after Horizon. Unlike the other DLC, you can do it pretty much any time after Freedom's Progress. Because of the content, like the story content, it sort of fits best after the suicide mission. Although you can do it before the suicide mission. There's one sort of cutscene at the very end that changes depending on when you do it, either before or after the suicide mission. I sort of go back and forth between doing it before or after the suicide mission. I like doing it before sometimes just because you guys can get a bunch of decent extra upgrades if you want. They don't make a big difference. I think there's like a Metagel upgrade, which you don't really want more Metagel. Chances are you won't use them with too many. I think there's a heavy weapon ammo upgrade, which is actually pretty good for the suicide mission. I think at that point, along with the right armor pieces, you can get like over like 200. Like if you're having the say using the M920K, and you get over like 200%, which means fired off 2 shots for like in one mission, which is really good for the cane. But for the most part, if other weapons, heavy weapons, it doesn't really matter. The extra ammo, you're not going to be using it all that much. I forget what other. There's one other measure. I think it's a damage protection upgrade, which is good. That can give you up to, I think, at the 7 for the suicide mission if you do it before. So that's good. But I mean, it's not poison one. Sometimes I do it before. I mean, the suicide mission, I get all the upgrades. Otherwise, like story-wise, it's best to maybe do it after, but eh.
This one's apparently the master.
I mean, that's pretty much it. So, there's an achievement if you haven't got it yet, if you've never done this before, to Complete the mission, like stealth without basically not alerting any guards on the way before you rescue Dr. Kenson here. I just showed that in the background. Fairly simple stuff. There's like 4 or 5 guards. They're coded to not really do anything unless you like basically attack them or like go up within a certain distance. But you get Dr. Kenson briefly for 2 pieces here in this first part of the DLC. She is the worst squad mate in the game if you're at level 30. She has Overload and Incinerate. You can't spec her. She's like Wilson in the very beginning of the game where you can't basically access the squad screen. So they automatically give her powers, and her Overload, even with 6 upgrades, isn't enough to strip defenses. They're like full defenses on Insanity, which really sucks. And Incinerate, I mean, she only really use that against health, and on Insanity it's pretty much all shields when you do have her. So she's fairly useless. So I hate her. That's why I think she's the worst squad mate. And that's not even, I mean, I hated her even before you were supposed to have a reason to hate her later, but anyway, spoilers. So in this section right here, you can use, there's a kill zone right there if you can throw them in the middle. If you want to make sure that you kill them in case throw bugs out or you have some weird issues with throw, sometimes if say you pull them first, throw sometimes whips them back for some odd reason. You can use warp because it's an enclosed area. I'll actually use warp a few times here. Can't remember if I use warp on this guy. Yeah. I was hoping, just because there's no way I could throw him out of there to kill him, so I used warp. So then you kill all those guys here. And this part kind of sucks. But it's fairly simple if you know where they're coming in. I'll show you where. So basically, you're supposed to protect her while she's hacking the computer. The only people that actually chase after her are these guys right here. So her health bar really doesn't make much of a difference. I don't think I've ever had them kill her. So I'm just gonna take Metal Gel there while I try to strip these guys' defenses. That wasn't good enough. I'm using a Locust. I'm gonna attack guys from a little longer distance, or at least I thought, but it turns out I didn't. So throw him. See if my throw kind of bugged out there. And there really bugs out for a reason, because again, this is Mass Effect 2. Sometimes biotics do that for whatever reason. Some tech does that, like Cryo Blast, Slims or Neural Shock won't work like it's supposed to, but that's rare. Biotics tends to get hit the most. So next guys come from down over there. You can try to sort of block them with a Singularity or maybe in Stasis from far back away, but I recommend you just race up to this area to try to prevent them from coming in. That way they stay back there. They won't chase after Kenson even if you give them all the room in the world. They'll actually fight you, which is why Kenson having a health bar is kind of useless. Like I said, only that first group of guys goes after her, which is kind of pointless. I don't know if it was just the way AI was coded, or was an error that was never fixed or QA'd properly. I don't know. I think they rushed to get this out to meet a deadline, so their throw kind of threw them really weird area. But again, you can just sort of throw them off the side. You can basically pull them off the side or throw them off the side. Or warp kill them, whatever you need to do. I try to find these guys from here. I probably should have went up, but I find there's not that great cover for those guys if you go up too close. But there is I should have went a little closer than I did. But they won't go after Kenson. They'll just fight you and take cover like cowards, so they'll stay far enough away. They'll stay right around there. They won't really come up after you unless they can see you way, way back. But screwed up my warp. I was hoping to stagger them so I could throw warp. And in here, I really screw up and somehow survive. I'm trying to pull this guy and I mess up.
There's an elevator that leads up to the hatch. hangar. I'll bring it down to us. Almost done.
Oh, sorry, Sorry, it's the next wave I screw up on, I think. Yeah, so I tried to take cover here and it won't let me, then I tried to take cover against that thing and it won't let me. So I'm just trying to get out of the line of fire a bit so I can get meta-gel and work my way up here. So I probably should have went here for cover before those guys came up, but I didn't, but it worked out in the end. I probably should have warped him, but I didn't. I was trying to throw him. Probably like an idiot, so.
Go into cover!
I do have a the gas plasma shotgun, I think. Or did I bring the katana? I can't remember what I took. I guess the GPS. So I was the shotgun, so I probably should have used that, but I think I just showed that you can do it with SMGs. I used the Locust on this one. I didn't particularly like it. Oh yeah, this one you have to actually wait till Kenson gets on before you can actually activate this elevator, which is why kind of annoying. So this part here.
They're here.
You're going to see a lot of mistakes here, mostly because it looks like I'm trying to place her in cover. I'm not. I'm actually trying to get her to order her to basically remove shields, but I kept missing. You may see that yourself sometimes when you're basically trying to like go there, do that, like use a power. Like if you're on PC, it's Q and E. If you're on a console, it's left and right on the D-pad. I messed up a lot. Basically trying to. Basically, you have her use her quick power and it just wouldn't work. So I was kept placing in the wrong spots. I'm using warp here just to make sure that I kill them. I don't think throw will kill them. I'm not sure. Sometimes in these levels in Arrival, there's a kill zone right at the ceiling where if they hit the ceiling or get close enough to the ceiling, the game will kill them. Not sure if that's here. I kind of get lucky here where he gets caught enough in the singularity to remove his shields. So they shoot me. I was able to stagger that guy. Aiming went all weird there. Luckily, he was on health and she decided to use Incinerate instead of Overload. Either actually, the other one probably would have been fine. I'm not sure what her Overload is, like what rank it is. At a certain rank, like at rank 3, Overload will start overheating weapons, so either way, I would have crowd controlled him. At least he stopped firing at me. Incinerate was the better option, in my opinion. Again, I'm trying to get her to overload shields, and I keep missing, so he keep placing a, waypoint marker for her instead of getting her to move shields. But in the end, I learned that singularity will. You're supposed to take out these locks, shoot them, find out singularity will actually destroy them. News to me. Thing is, you have to basically destroy the suits, and you have to kill everyone else in the room before you can leave. I've done that before. I destroyed both and tried to leave. It's like, you can't go. There's still enemies in the room. Oh. But anyway, that's that first part of the Arrival, so. Again, pretty standard stuff that you've been doing before, except this time you have to do it all on your own, except with squad mates. So, anyway. There you go.